This afternoon, we are hearing from community activists supporting a grand jury's decision not to indict a 17-year-old who'd been charged with murdering a convenience store clerk in Humble. The shooting happened back in January. The clerk shot and killed after getting in his car to chase after two shoplifters who'd stolen a bag of chips. Community activists say that the teens were defending themselves.
But I said from the very beginning, when I turned these two young men in, that there was a lot more to this story that needed to come out. And that I was confident that once the truth came out, they would see that this case was self-defense.
Both teenagers surrendered in the case, but only one faced charges.
Today, this morning, Qualnall X had a message for young black teenagers.
Brothers, go get some jobs, or make jobs for yourselves. Let's not make excuses for criminal behavior.
Mario Young's mother says her son was in solitary confinement for 3 months and he needs counseling as he is suffering from depression.
These kids, man, they're going to continue doing this. It's going to get worse over time. It's going to get worse. It has gotten worse. Why? Because they're not being held to account for what they're doing. And again, we all know it. Every single one of us knows it. Again, these kids, they went into a convenience store, they stole a bag of chips, and again, the guy followed them out. They flicked the guy off. The guy followed them. I guarantee you to get the shits back, number one, and also to have the kids held accountable for what they did. He wanted to know where are they going? Where are they going so I can call the police and have the police stop by and get them. But again, they were in fear of their lives. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Again, that was something that was made up. I guarantee you the lawyer thought to himself, how can I get these kids off? Well, if I say they were in fear of their lives, yeah. The funny thing is, guys, I guarantee you, majority of these people, they were the ones that wanted Kyle Rittenhouse found guilty. And again, on camera, Kyle Rittenhouse, they tried to hit him in the head with a skateboard. They tried to physically attack him on camera. And the guy tried to run to get away. And finally, when their kids go to him, he turned around and fell and turned around and shot him. But I guarantee you they wanted Kyle Rittenhouse found guilty. But these two poor young black men, they were just stealing a bag of chips. And again, but they were being followed. Because again, I guarantee the guy was going to turn them in. Yeah, they shot and killed him over a bag of chips. Do people not understand what's happening? Do people not truly get it? Again, they're allowing criminals to get away with crimes. Now, apparently, murder. But I'm going to show you about a 2-minute long video clip of everything that happened. And you guys can decide for yourselves.
Murder charges gone after a grand jury no-billed the teen accused of killing a gas station clerk. Now, that clerk followed him after he stole a bag of chips, according to court documents. Fox 26's Abigail Dye joining us live with the update after speaking with the teen's defense attorneys. Abigail.
At this point, this murder charge is no longer. The grand jury put a stop to this case, which means this teen has no criminal wrongdoing in the case at this point. January 19th, two teens walk into a Sunoco in Humble. Police say security video shows them stealing a bag of chips and leaving the store. You see the station clerk follow the boys out. Court records say that clerk, 42-year-old Asif McNojia, got in his car and followed the teens. That's when investigators say 17-year-old Mario Young shot McNojia. 2 days later, Young was charged with murder and turned himself in. That's when he called Lot Brooks.
It is just absolutely devastating. And I know my client is still very upset about what happened.
Brooks says he believed Young's story that he shot that day in self-defense.
When they left, there was no danger anymore. And then when he followed them around the corner and came and confronted them again, I think they were afraid of their lives.
He says he put Young in front of a grand jury because he knew that they'd feel the same way.
I let him go in to the grand jury by himself. I wanted him to be there with the grand jury and to be honest and tell them exactly what happened.
He says his condolences go to the family of Magnosia and says Young's family is focused on getting the teen through graduation.
We're hoping that with some therapy and some counseling, that he's going to be better, because he's really upset about it at this point.
Now, it is possible for the district attorney to present this case to another grand jury, but there's no indication that that's going to happen at this point. Now, Brooks does say that the clerk was armed, but court records don't indicate whether or not he was armed at the time of the shooting. I asked Brooks where he thinks Young got this gun. I'll have his answer for you coming up on the News Edge at 10. Reporting live, Abigail Dye, Fox 26 News.
Yeah, again, we gotta believe these two kids were in fear of their lives. We gotta believe that. Again, I guarantee you the majority of these people, they did not want Kyle Rittenhouse to be found innocent. They didn't. But, and we saw on camera that Kyle Rittenhouse was being attacked. And he was trying to run away, and they were attacking him, literally attacking him. But, that's fine. That's fine. Kyle Rittenhouse, he should have known better. But these two 17-year-old black kids, who went into a convenience store, stole a bag of chips, left, were confronted, flipped the guy off, and then when the guy followed them to see where they were going, they shot and killed him. They're justified for it. They are justified because, again, they were in fear of their lives. No, they weren't. They were not. It's a good story, but they weren't. And again, none of that was caught on camera. But again, Kyle Rittenhouse, this kid was actually in fear of his life. He was actually trying to flee, get away from people. He had no right to do what he did because he's white, because he's conservative. He had no reason to do that. Who does he think he is? But again, two black kids of the same age. Yeah. Again, they did nothing wrong. It was just shoplifting. And again, when the guy followed them, they became in fear of their lives. And they were shot. He was shot and killed. And again, by a handgun that was illegal for these kids to carry because, again, they were 17. Again, you can't make this stuff up. But guys, I'm going to show you one last clip of a man who was interviewed by the news that saw the store clerk confronting the two teens. Watch this.
Yeah, I think we have sound from that witness that I want to get to.
Yes, and right before all this unfolds, the clerk, I spoke with him. Again, he said he watched the clerk drive and follow the teens, didn't think anything of it, but he then eventually heard some gunshots, and this is what he described what happened.
Next thing you know, I heard two gunshots, and I looked back, and I could see the shooter firing more shots at the car. I saw him. He ran towards the way under the bridge, and the other one ran towards Will Clayton and actually ran up and jumped over the barrier and was waiting for traffic to lighten up so he could run across Will Clayton. By then, I was up to Will Clayton, and I looked back at the car. the victim, he had hit reverse in his car. At first, I thought he was finna go after the other guy who hadn't shot at him. But no, he backed up onto the curb, and when his car wasn't moving, I went ahead and I made a U-turn, and I went back that way towards him. I went over to the driver's side. I had my phone. I put my phone hand up, and I put my other hand up because I don't know what was going on. You know, I didn't know if this guy may have had a gun or something, and that's what started the altercation. I looked in, you know, it was a tinted window. I kind of looked. He was slumped to the side, and I'm sitting there saying, "Hey, buddy, man. Hey, dude, are you okay?" I looked to see, you know, try for safety. I looked at his hand. There was nothing in his hand.
Very scary.
Yeah, he, remembered every moment of that interaction. And I asked him, I said, "Why did you go over there?" And he said, the car wasn't moving. He goes, "I knew something was wrong. I didn't think the clerk was okay." And so he immediately wanted to check to see if he could help in any way. So he called 911. He was on the phone with dispatch. And as you heard in that soundbite, he looks around and, checks the area to see maybe if he was armed. A big thing about this is that only one of the teens is charged with murder, but both of them did turn themselves into police. You can see they're walking with Quan LX. We were there last week when they walked into HPD and turned themselves in. Quan LX told us that the teens are claiming self-defense. They also accused the clerk of having a weapon. When I spoke with that witness who checked on the clerk after the shooting, he told me he did not see any guns in the car. He checked, but did not see that he was armed. We have reached out to Humble Police asking if they can confirm if a weapon was found in the clerk's car, but they have not responded to that question because this is still an active and ongoing investigation.
And so,
can't we not be honest anymore in this country? Again, this kid committed murder. He committed murder. And again, we're supposed to look the other way. When people like Kyle Rittenhouse, again, killed two guys, it was on camera that he was being attacked. Yeah. They told us that he needs to be locked up. Bad kid. But this 17-year-old black kid that goes out, shoplifts, is walking around carrying a handgun that, again, is illegal for him to carry. But it's how they're doing it. Shoplifting. I'm sure doing much more than we know. And again, the store clerk follows him to see where he's going, and he decides to kill the store clerk. We gotta feel bad for him. We gotta feel bad for the kid. No, we don't. Again, they're using you. They're using you. They're telling you you have to be compassionate. It's not real. And again, that's what they're telling you with the migrants coming across the border. You got to feel sorry for them. You got to have compassion. You have got to feel bad. No, you don't. That's what the issue is. Because again, you feel bad and they know it. They know they can play with you. They can play with your emotions. They know that, and they use that in a way to again, push what they want. And it gets absolute chaos. And it's going to get even worse, much worse, very quick. Again, because they're playing. They're playing you. But guys, man, this kid, he's gotten away with murder. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. You son of a